Alrighty, here we go. Back with another video. Class is in session. Today, you already know what we're talking about. We're talking about the metaphysics of numbers. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you the visual as I'm explaining it. I feel like that's the simplest way to explain this. So, let's get right into it. We're starting off with the number 9. The reason why? The number 9 is the first number. Everything started in the ninth dimension. That's the highest realm, that's the highest dimension. That's why 9 is the highest number. Everything would have to be at its highest intelligence and then come down when it comes to its creations. So, here we go. The number 9, as you can see, it starts off rounded. So, it started off with something that was never ending. The circle, of course, is something that has no beginning nor an end. But see, what happened was the highest intelligence decided to change forms. So you go from having something that's rounded, well-rounded, and then suddenly, boom, its intelligence decided to take another course. So now it's going on another path. It has to go down because, of course, 9 is the highest dimension. So all it could do was go down in intelligence when it comes to its different dimensions. So we go from the ninth dimension, and then we go down to the 8. Now you see with the number 8 that the number 8 is this, basically it's this, the infinity symbol, and it's sideways, or an 8 sideways is the infinity symbol. I'm sure you've seen that before. My handwriting ain't the best, but hey, us left-handed people, we usually don't have good handwriting. I'm not sure if it's like a male thing or a female thing, but you're getting the point either way. So with the number 8, it's got unlimited potential. So of course, as the 9 breaks off in intelligence, it goes downward, and now all of a sudden it has unlimited possibilities in which what it can do, because of the fact that everything is new here. So the 8 goes down into an intelligence that would be known as the 7. The 7, see, what I should have done is just put them below each other. 8, 7. Alright, so now with the number 9, pay no mind to that one. So you got the 9 going down into the 8, and then the 8 would be the unlimited potential. And then once it decided to break off in its intelligence, it goes into something that would be similar to a triangle, half of a triangle, if you will. But you see it's still going downward, boom. So now you got the 7. It decided to make an angle and then come downward, because if it would have just come straight back down, it would have been on the same level as the 9. So it had to go to make sure that it's still going in the opposite direction of its highest intelligence. It had to make a turn first and then come down in order for it to be on a different path. Okay, so after 7, you got the number 6. The number 6, as you can see, the 6 is obviously just a 9 upside down. I hope these numbers aren't coming out backwards on my camera. I won't be able to tell. But you've seen these numbers before, either way it goes. So the number 6, you see that as it comes down from the 7, it starts to show a more feminine nature. You see right here, it's a sharp turn. That's masculine. So the sharp turn, and then it goes straight down. The number 6 is the feminine idea of it. So the more feminine version of the number 7, or after the number 7, comes the feminine idea, in order to become more well-rounded in its idea of itself. Of course, all of this is an intelligence having different perspectives on itself. So now you got the number 6, and you see the number 6 goes back well-rounded again, because once you came down to the number 6, it's now to another level of intelligence to where it's well-rounded. And that's why the numbers 3, 6, and 9 are so important. If you didn't notice, the 9, the 6, and the 3, which are, clearly the most significant numbers, but they are so because they have that feminine nature too. And that is, well, the energy to be in is the feminine energy. That's the creativity, that's the right brain, that's everything that is able to nurture and be more creative. So 7 isn't as, say, feminine as the number 6. So the number 6 goes, and then it becomes well-rounded again. Once it's well-rounded, now it wants to turn back into a masculine. So number 5 comes after that. Now you see with the number 5, it's got that sharp turn again that I was talking about. That sharp angle, it looks more like a square. But see, you turn here, and then you go left or go to the side again, and the intelligence wasn't able to continue to go because you would have just ended up going back in the same direction. So if the 5 would have gone this way, and then completed that, it would have made a square. It would have gone backwards. So it had no choice but to start off masculine, and then once you get to a certain point, it's like, oh wait, I can't go back. So the intelligence had to turn back into another feminine nature. So it goes back into the curve again. So now you got the number 5. Okay, now the number 4, I'm just go back to the top of the page now. So now you got the number 4. Matter of fact, I'll do 5, 4. Okay, so you go from 5 and 4. So 5 has that masculine nature at the top, feminine nature at the bottom, and then it goes into the number 4. The number 4 has these sharp angles again. So it's covering every angle that the 5 didn't cover. So the 5, of course, had the line at the top, but the 4 couldn't have done that because it's already been there and done that. So the number 4 comes down, boom, goes down and around, and then it goes up. It's like, oh, wait, I already been there because I don't want to complete that square again because then I'm going at the wrong angle. So, boom, it has to go straight back down again into another intelligence. It couldn't go back round again because that's where it just came from. The 5 was rounded at the bottom. So it has no choice but to go downward some more. So now we get to the 4th dimension. All right. After 4, of course, is 3. 3 being, boom, feminine again. So now you got another feminine nature. You got the masculine, and then the feminine. Feminine all the way through. The most creative energy is always going to be feminine. That's just the way it goes. That's the right brain. That is the yin, if you will. You know, there's yin and there's yang. Yang is masculine. Yin is feminine. Yin came first because, of course, in order to be a creator, you would have to have feminine energy. So in order to give birth to something new, you have to have feminine characteristics. So some people say something like God is a man, but technically God wouldn't be male or female by itself. God would, or the creator would have to have characteristics of both masculine and feminine. But if God was just one, it would definitely be a female because God gave birth to the universe. And in order to give birth to something, you have to be what? Female. Okay, now back to the numbers. So now after the number 3, you got the number 2. Okay, so look like my marker's running low on ink, but you know, you got the number 2. I hope it doesn't look like a 6 on the camera. I really won't know until I post this video, but we all know what these numbers look like. Number 2, once again, it's got the curve to it, feminine energy. The 3 comes down, boom, boom, gives us intelligence. It couldn't come straight back down because that would have been on the same level as the 4. Boom, it already did something that's straight down, and it would have been too soon. It would have kind of been like making a very similar decision when you just came from there. That's kind of like if you just went out and got some fast food. That's like on your way home, you stop at another fast food restaurant, even though you just ate at a fast food restaurant. It's like you're still full off of the old stuff, so you wouldn't necessarily need to make a very similar decision again. So then you go into, of course, lastly, the number 1. Boom. Now the number 1 would be the lowest level it could get to. So it had to be straight again. Because once you get to a certain level, ain't nowhere else to go but straight. So after you get done with that feminine energy of the number 2, it goes downward, and it goes straight down to the number 1. As you can see with the number 2, it was already going downward naturally with the loop of the curve. Now some people draw their 2s differently to where it's got the straightness at the bottom, but either way it goes, you only have one direction to go because of the fact that every other angle has already been covered with all these other numbers. So you've gone to the sides, you've gone horizontally, you've gone straight down, but straight down is the only way to go if you've already done all the other angles. once you covered all these other angles, like just like at the beginning, you have no choice but to go straight once again. So then after the 2, you get to the 1. Boom. And of course, after that, there is nothingness, but for the sake of explanation of numbers, we can talk about the number 0. But obviously, the number 0 represents emptiness or the abyss, or maybe the what has yet to be given birth to. It's more like the potential of something, but it technically doesn't exist yet because of the fact that nothing has given birth. In order for it to be able to give birth to something, you would need 2 zeros, and they would have to be overlapping. I'm sure you've seen this symbol before, but that's the same thing as a vagina. If you look this way, it looks like a vagina. That's the whole point. 2 zeros come together and make something that exists. Maybe that's why a lot of the time people who aren't so intelligent often give birth to a child who's a lot more intelligent than they are, and the child ends up teaching a lot more to the parents. Maybe that's why. That's just my ideology of how these numbers work and the reason why they look the way that they do. Of course, numbers are symbols and they represent something, just like letters, but I feel like in order to be able to really recognize the way that the universe works and be able to pick up on the signs that are being given, you have to be able to comprehend numbers, because that's the one language that's the same across the board. Everybody might speak different languages when it comes to the letters, and some people's alphabets have certain letters in them and certain symbols out that aren't in them. But when it comes to these numbers, for the most part, we all use the same numbers. So what does that say? Obviously, numbers have a higher intelligence, or at least everybody around here on Earth have a similar understanding of this language that we call numbers. Alright, this has been a quick video for you guys. Got any questions, leave them in the comment section. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos of the metaphysics and the spirituality and even finance sometimes. I got a lot of information to pour out to you guys. I'd love to share it with you. Till next time, have a good one.